And the bottom of the wedge.
Awesome. Cool. Here they come. Let's get our young friends on
everybody.
stage.
Hello.
There you go, Jason. Got a young Dylan
Hello,
over here.
hello, hello.
A young one. Thank you.
Cool.
How's it? How's it all? There must be a South African. How's it all?
Guys, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Good
Shall we start
morning.
with can we start with our normal bullish bearish poll? I won't say anything yet.
You're calling me bullish bearish, huh?
Can we see where we are?
Yeah, just call me
Are we
Mr. Neutral.
panicking? What are we doing? Are we going to be long? Who's feeling scared, basically?
Ooh, that spike on bullish there, though.
Yeah, it came in quite hot there. Okay.
Mhm.
I know I sounded like a bull yesterday, but today
You
I'm
know
a
what?
bear again.
You know what we need to do? We need to take out this neutral one and the confused next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need answers.
Yesterday was a short squeeze.
Yeah, look, yesterday,
over.
look, luckily we caught their move, so that was cool. Now the real test is on the second visit to these areas.
Oh,
36%.
We'll be all right,
Stopped out
guys.
on Matic this morning. Deborah,
I'm
why
so
were you, what were you
surprised so
doing
few
with
people are
Matic?
bearish. Wow.
Deborah, I need to know about this Matic trade. What happened there? I see Deborah in the comments said she got stopped out.
excellent. Shall we get going?
Okay, 35% bulls, Jason. You better not disappoint. What do
Okay.
you what do you have
How
for
much-
us here?
How much neutral there?
Neutral, 31%.
31%. I think neutral's a cop out though. Huh?
Okay.
We can't sit on the fence. We got to make a call here.
Absolutely. Hello,
Okay, Jay,
everybody.
let's have a look.
Okay, so we're looking at the Bitcoin chart on the 4-hour. So yesterday, this time, where were we? We were roughly in this candle here, and we had bounced off the support here down at 25,400. And we had a nice move up of roughly, what is that, 8% in Bitcoin. And there was obviously people shorting at these levels with their stop losses. And as the stop losses got hit, this accelerated the push to the upside. It's like dominoes. So as the shorts get liquidated, it just pushes the price up, pushes the price up, pushes the price up. And I would say that that is this candle that we see at the over here would have been that short squeeze. And we got to a high at 27,400. Now, what I did notice here late South African time last night was that when I compared
Hey, what's up?
price, when I compared
Let me just
price,
mute
Logged in. I'm logged into one of these sniper.
I muted him.
am I muted? Can you hear me?
No, I muted him.
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So what I noticed was that the RSI was accelerating quicker than price. And it got to a situation where the RSI got to a higher high compared to the 4th of June, yet price was lower. And what that is, it's called hidden bearish divergence. So price does not come up at the same speed as the RSI, and the RSI creates a higher high, yet price does not confirm that. That's called hidden bearish divergence. So what I did was I waited for price to come up to this area around about 20, 27,400, and I actually got into a short at that level. And yeah, and Bitcoin didn't manage to, it got rejected there, didn't manage to get above that resistance, and it's come all the way down to currently to the support here of 26,600. Now you can see that the candle is trying to push lower, and we got the 200 moving average down here at 26,400, and you can see we tested it earlier today. So this level has to hold. If it doesn't hold, that means we could possibly come down again to once again test these levels here at 25,400 or so. If we just put a fib between the low of yesterday and the high of last night, let's do that again. You can see that we've come down to 0.5, and the 0.618 is at 26,125. So that's the next fib to the downside, and then below that the 786 at 25,800. It's important that we do not lose this current support here of 26,600. Okay, so if we go into higher time frames, and I'm going to go to the daily, we are still in this massive falling channel. And a channel that's falling like this is normally bullish, where there's a 68% chance of a break to the upside. We've also got this massive support line that comes from the beginning of the year down the bottom here, where we've got additional support further down. We've also got the bottom of this channel, this white line that is acting as support. And we've got this block here that is the acting as support. You can see where we tried to get through here in February and got rejected at the 200 moving average on the weekly at that stage, but also in this block here. So I'm expecting us to, a lot of the buyers to be here waiting for price to actually come down to this lower level. That's what I'm expecting. Does anybody want to add anything there?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at BTC and I'm seeing we are on support. So there's no BTC panic here.
Yeah.
But then I'm looking at some of these other alts that are getting a bit of heat from the SEC, or a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And there's pressure. So
Yeah.
I just saw a tweet just now that the BTC price on Binance US is quite inflated right now, because people are starting to exit Solana, Matic, Near, those type of tokens. So quite an interesting dynamic playing out at the moment.
Absolutely. What we have got here, and I'm just going to mark it out, is that we've got a bit of a range. And we've been in this range since the middle of May. So we've come down to a support. We go up to resistance here at 27,500. We come down to support here once again, 25,800. Go up to resistance. Their price got rejected. We came down below the range low. The buyer stepped in, and you see we once again got rejected there. So this is also an area of interest around 25,865. It is a range low. So you can also mark that level out too, which is quite interesting.
Jason, the only other thing that I'm noticing that's different here from where we are on the Bitcoin chart respective to where we were like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we are still at 48% on dominance. That means right now we're still where we are in dominance, where we were like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But the price for Bitcoin is lower now. So is that bullish?
Okay, we'll get to that dominance now. I just want to point out one thing, and I did go through it a few weeks ago. And if we just go back into history and look at the May, June for last year, for 2021, and if we go, this was last year, where we were in sideways, trending sideways on the support of of 30,000. And then June, we had that lunar collapse. And you can see that we only started recovering sort of the first or second week in July. We came up once again and then retraced. If we go to 2021 and just have a look at the same months again, at that stage, we had a 50% retracement coming from, that was at, am I right here? Yeah, 59,000. It came all the way down to 30,000 in May. And for the whole of June, you can see a slow bleed down in Bitcoin to the third week in July, and then started pushing up. And if we go back into 2020, and we go and have a look there, May, pretty much going sideways right into July. So it really is a testing period for Bitcoin over the last 3 years. I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but history looks like it is repeating itself.
Dave, now looking at all this info, what is your current trading plan on? What's your current alts trading plan? What are you doing around that?
Well, if we look at Bitcoin, and I'm just going to show you again, we're actually in a range here. So this range is telling me to long once we get down to this area of 25,900, and short when we get to the range high of 27,500. That's what it's telling me.
Okay. And would you push that onto alts?
Absolutely.
For your strategy? Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yes.
So yeah, just like from my side, we had that squeeze yesterday. Yesterday I went long with you guys. I think we did Sol and File that we spoke about. We got that pump yesterday. That for me was a signal to exit my my File long at this resistance area, but I chose to hold on to Solana to try and build a bigger position. So now I'm looking at this chart while it's turning blood red with the SEC stuff, and it's definitely getting spicier.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I want to take you guys through some of these SEC coins, and we can try and figure out what the hell's going on there and how we're going to trade them.
I'm going to go through the dominance quickly. Let's just put that to the right hand side. So I've marked it out. Range low, range high.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go and look at, while we're on this chart, let's just have a look at Ethereum Bitcoin, and you can see it's once again green, telling us that Ethereum is still outperforming Bitcoin. And you can see that we did get a rejection at the top of the range resistance area. Yeah, it's 0.071. And we have come down to the bottom of the range resistance area, currently at 0.069. But it's still showing me green. It's still telling me that as long as we hold this trend, this orange line here, that Ethereum is still outperforming Bitcoin. That is very interesting.
Yeah. And also interesting, it wasn't labeled as a security by the SEC. So there's obviously some kind of narrative in there as well.
Yes.
So if guys are going to exit tokens, where they're going to exit, BTC, USDT, and ETH,
So this is a chart of Ethereum on the 8-hour. We've also been in a downtrend here, and we broke out of here on the 28th of May, came up to this resistance area of 1900, got rejected, came down to support 1850. Once again, we went up, hit resistance again. Then we came down for the retest of the breakout of the previous resistance line, which was acting as support. We had a beautiful push up yesterday from 1800 back up to 1900, once again got rejected, and now we're sitting at the top of the support of 1850. So Ethereum still in this range that we've been in since the beginning of May, between sort of 1800 right up to 1950 or so. And that range has got smaller over the last couple of weeks. If we go and have a look at the dominance chart, Jackie, you said you made a comment there around dominance, that even though Bitcoin has dropped, the dominance is still quite high.
Correct. I see a comment here as well that also ties into this conversation that we're going to have now. Johan was asking, I understand that we're looking at Bitcoin or what it did in the past, but we have a different circumstance now with the SEC and their ruling. Should this make the market more unstable than we had in the past?
Well, last year, this time, we had the lunar crisis. So, same scenario.
Was that only a year ago?
God.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Wow. Time flies when you're having fun and getting wrecked, eh? Jeez.
And then 2 years ago, we had a 50% drop in the market. Now, I can't recall if that was an event, but a 50% drop in Bitcoin, that is massive.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Can I
yeah,
jump in for a second? I just got some detail on the fact that the SEC motion to seek a temporary restraining order was only against corporate assets, not against user funds or assets at all. That's not even attempted. So that our funds that are on Binance US are not part of defreezing, and nothing's gone through yet. So that's they've applied for an injunction, but they haven't gotten it yet. That's the rest of it's
Okay.
fine. So
Thanks, Bruce.
what that's worth.
Awesome.
So
Good
the-
insight.
the dominance is showing me a bullish pennant. And the reason why it's bullish is because we've had an entry into this pennant from the bottom. So, and for now, there's a 68% chance of a break to the upside and a 32% chance of a break to the downside. And you can see what happened here yesterday. We had a massive push up in the dominance as Bitcoin went and took out all those shorts, and the dominance shot up because of that. And right now we at this area around 48%. Now the question is, will 48% hold as resistance and get rejected and come back down again? Only time will tell.
So
Yeah.
like Jay?
Hello.
Yeah, so basically, you know, with this current situation in the States and these coins, which I'm going to show you guys now, I'm kind of leaning towards dominance popping up here. While everybody sort of panic exits into BTC, and we saw this now in the States with that. Who shared that tweet? There was the BTC price was about 28K on Binance US something. So there's definitely something brewing there, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, how is
So
that
I'm
possible?
yeah. So I think just demand on the site.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening
Yeah.
there.
Yep. Well, that's good news then.
Okay,
I saw
so
the tweet and I want to pull it up and I can't remember where I saw it. Sorry, Jay, carry on.
yeah, no problem. So this is the total market cap. So this is the total crypto market. And yesterday we had a beautiful push up off this support areas of, we've got an actual support block here between 1,017 trillion right up to 1,058. And plus we got the 200 moving average on the weekly coming through here. And we got this massive white support line that comes from the beginning of the year. So it was holding support for the total market, and we had a beautiful reaction off that as we pushed up. Unfortunately, we hit resistance here at 1,095. It's got rejected, and you can see we're coming all the way back down once again. Now, if we do come and visit this area once again, down here at 1.05, we have to keep a close eye on this chart, because any sort of break to the downside through this support is not going to be good at all. So as long as the 200 moving average on the weekly is holding up the total market, I'm happy to say that we're still bullish. The break below that is not going to be good for the total market. And if we go to the total 2, which is now excludes Bitcoin, and it's the top 125 altcoins, you can see once again the 200 moving average on the weekly is holding as support. But unfortunately, on the total 3, which excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, the 200 moving average on the weekly is above. So that is bearish for the general altcoin market. So keep a close eye on the total market cap, that any sort of drop here below sort of 1.04 so is not going to be good for the market.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
seeing the
things
same
aren't
thing on
looking
the
very
others'
good here.
dominance as well.
Cool. I think that's it from our side, guys. Thank you.
Cool, Jay. Thank you. Guys, I want to pull up this list of these tokens. And we can see, just try and get a picture here as to what's happening. This first tweet that I'm showing you guys, maybe Bruce or someone on Binance US can just verify this, but there's a tweet coming through that the BTC price is inflated.
I just posted it in the chat.
Oh, okay,
BTC
okay.
US, check this out. BTC USDT is 26,757. BTC USD is 28,075.
Okay.
I just put it in the chat. It's crazy.
Okay,
It's funny.
so yeah, that's telling us there's a rush to buy BTC, right? We exiting, I would assume, these coins over here, if you guys can see that.
Yep.
Tokens identified: Solana, ADA, Matic, File, Sand, Chili's, which is a bit odd, VGX, never heard of, Coty, also a bit strange, Atom, big one, BNB. So let's just take a look at some of these. Like I've opened ADA for you guys as a starting point. Not looking good right now. Like there's a support area here, but the way things are going, personally, I wouldn't be jumping in right here based on this current news situation and where things stand. So yeah, ADA wise, this is an area, probably a reaction here. Next level, I'd say, are these lows here, just under, say, 0.3. So, but you can see the size of this candle, compared to something like Lido, which has been quite positive today, in the last, but this is the 8-hour Lido. So Lido, something like that's held up really well. Then we got things like ADA looking very sad. Yeah, it's lost this 200-day. This area is now going to be major resistance. 200-day horizontal stuff. We got to deal with this area. Yeah, so this should definitely, if it pumps up here, it's we're gonna have a problem there. And then this could be interesting, So watch that one on ADA. I got the same problem with Solana. It's on that list. Yeah.
Someone was asking if you could just drop that link in the chat.
The tweet link.
Yeah.
This one.
The one with the tokens.
Yeah. Okay.
And I can tell you that VGX is that Voyager token. And yesterday they had a court hearing and the motion got denied to repay all of their creditors. Denied.
So guys, here is Solana on the daily. Now, we've been dealing with this for a while. Again, we're knocking on a major support area again. Normally, I'd be rushing in to, grab this. This is obviously a concern for me. This tells me, there's going to be some selling here potentially, not guaranteed, but, these items on the hit list. So just be careful here. It is a support zone. We know this. We've traded this many times. It's now got its own rising trend here. You can see this trend we've pulled from here. So there's multiple reasons that this should hold as support. But yeah, just be cautious here. There's other factors at play. So, you know, if you want to be long sold, this is a support zone. But you need to understand there's other factors at play here. So just be careful. Yeah, I mean, we're watching BTC. BTC is holding nicely. These coins on the hit list are obviously a bit of a problem right now.
So the 200 moving average on the daily is also acting as strong support there.
Yeah, that's this blue line here, Jay.
Yeah.
This guy coming in here. We've got the horizontal, we got the fibs. I think we've even got a second fib here, like a 786 here. I mean, there's a lot of reasons telling us we should be buying this blood. So yeah, if you want to play the game, just know what's happening around us right now. You know, these candles are very red. The other one was Matic. I mean, Matic I've been going on about for ages, and looks like we're finally going to get our chance here. But are we going to take it? Who's going to be long Matic here at 74? Are there any takers? Come on, why is everyone so quiet? Who's trading Matic here?
I don't follow Matic much, so I won't give you my 2 cents there.
So Matic used to be an easy one. It used to be a fun one to trade, but it's been in this downtrend for so long. You know, I think we identified this zone very long time ago. This is an order block thing. We'll tell you about this at some point, but you'll see this is filling in here as well. So look, things are starting to look interesting for Matic. But again, remember, these are very red candles here. So there's a lot of heavy selling going on. You'll probably find, I mean, I think some of the big corporates own Matic, if I'm not mistaken, guys. I think it was BlackRock or one of these guys. Matic's like a major asset of theirs. So if they're having things with Binance US and things like that, maybe they're forced to offload. This could have been them offloading this whole time. You know,
Right.
so just you know, keep that in mind, guys. If we lose this area, things are going to get very spicy all the way down here, and then Matic becomes a different beast. So sort of
Dill, on that, that's obviously a bullish structure, the falling wedge like that, where there's a 68% chance of a break to the upside. But remember, if there's a drop to the downside, where there's a 32% drop, that drop is normally quite violent, and we're on a major support there. So I think, Dill, if we break
100%.
that support there, it's going to drop very quickly.
Remember, guys, there's been longs here, and their stops were under here every time. Stops are here. So whoever was long down here, down there, you know, they got stops sitting here. So once we crack that, you're going to have a situation where there's market buys and sells happening down here. And it's going to get just, you don't want to be caught in that, put it that way. It should drop down very fast. It should recover. I would say it could potentially bounce quite quickly, and then you'd get your opportunity here for potential short, but that we'll deal with that when we get there. Let's just check the next one. Axie, Axie's lost another level here. Here we go. We're coming into 6. We've been watching this one also for ages. So 6 might be a great buy for Axie. We saw yesterday 8 bounced off something. It was a bigger cluster, but you know, we had a similar looking thing with Ape. So maybe at around 6, you want to try. There'll probably be quite a few people lining up to be long on Axie there. Maybe you'll catch a bounce. Atom, this was major. I mean, Atom's now lost a major area. Okay, we've been trading this one for ages. So and this was weekly support. So you can see these stops blue. Let me zoom in a bit.
Hey, Dill.
Yeah.
You know what I don't understand? One of the coins that literally doesn't do anything until, you know, the market is actually going is ICP. Like, how in the hell is ICP considered a security when it does nothing?
I have no idea. Like, I think Bruce was saying, it's like a random mix. I mean, why is Coty in there? Like,
Mhm.
I mean,
Makes no
why
sense.
is Nexo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, best play is to probably just hide away from these for now, until the dust starts settling and we see the level of selling we're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, Atom is just like, whoo. So we had this break here, it popped back up. There was a short opportunity there against, what would now be weekly resistance. Okay, so you would have got a prime short entry there on that bounce. Okay, so you can see
Look at how
breakdown,
bad
bounce up,
BNB is dumping.
prime short. Yeah, no, this stuff's going to get bad. Look at this candle, it's moving, as we speak. Okay, so Atom, I mean, right now Atom looks to me like it's free fall time. You could probably get a nice long down here, 8.5. If you're brave enough, when you see that red candle that's coming down hard, and you feel that fear, it's probably worth a stab there. You'll at least get a bounce,
What's that as a percentage?
So, I mean, from here to here already is another 11%, which is quite possible. I mean, you and I have seen 30-40% candles in a day,
Yeah.
So anything can happen. But this is my next tradable zone for Atom, where I'd look for something. Doesn't necessarily have to be like on the drop. It could come down, let it bounce, let it settle, we go for a double bottom, and then we can grab it. So there's a few ways to play it. You don't have to try and catch the bottom. You don't have to be a bottom hero, but we could try and do that, and then catch that one there. So the first one, it might spike a bit lower, see what happens. So this is my area for Atom. Gaming tokens, Mana and Sand. I mean, these guys are also under a bit of pressure. Near. Did we look at Near?
No,
Same as Atom. Look at exactly the same as Atom. Look at that thing. Dumped, retested this major support, which became resistance immediately. I mean, you can't get more perfect than that. And here we go on our way down. This is a big area for Near. Definitely going to get a reaction here. I'd be shocked if we didn't. So keep this one 1.25, 1.26. It's probably a good area to have a go. If we lose that, we're down here. We're down at 90 cents, guys. So just play it cautiously. We could do the same thing we did with Atom. If we get this hard move down, let it bounce. Let's wait for the next opportunity. We can try and catch it there. Or if you're not feeling it, let this trend play out. We can always do that later. Okay, so there's a few options here. There's that one, the second bite, and the trend. Mana.
BNB is down
CFX we must deal
16%
with.
since yesterday.
What's that? BNB?
Yes, it's like BNB is a huge.
Look at these guys. Wow. Okay. No, this is looking bad. Jeez. Okay. I mean, this must be an old chart of mine. Yeah. Okay, but this was resistance back then. So I was obviously charting this way back here. Okay, so let's. This is a big area right now. This is weekly. Okay, so we've got lots of weekly action here. So this is a major area for this token. Let's see where these fibs are tying in. Okay, it's interesting there. Yeah, it just feels a bit risky at the moment, these things, now that they're on the hit list. But these are areas we need to watch. I don't know, guys. I don't know what your feeling is. I mean, you want to grab these levels here? I mean, I don't know. I'd be very cautious here.
Too much risk on the table. If we just look at, for example, XRP, and the SEC, that's been going on now for how long? 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, has been going sideways since then. So it's not worth
So,
it.
yeah, I think if they're selling, maybe we break these areas. If we get the selling down to here in a short space of time, it's definitely going to be very oversold. And I think the main opportunities are on these big levels down. So yeah, if you want to play games, very small stuff on these areas until we know what's happening. If we get a fast move down, I think we'll get a nice bounce. It will be panic selling, and then we can make it back. Okay, let's look at some like strong coins now. Let's not be depressed. Your soul hanging on. Okay, things that have been good. Not file. Luckily, we exited this one on the pump back. I'm still waiting for this potential double bottom here. So all hope is not lost on file. I might have a go here later if we get there. I might have a second stab at this one for this double bottom play. Okay, strong tokens are Lido. This has been good today. It's held up very well relative to the others. Let's just look at this daily. Okay, so yeah, there's a bit of a trend situation going on here, but it's followed this really nicely. We marked this area, we didn't think we'd see it, and we did. So crypto is just amazing, isn't it? I mean, whenever you think you're not going to see something, it does come. So this is our main trend to track. We're going to track this trend all the way. So if you are long lower down Lido, you're just going to track this trend. Eventually we're going to lose it and we're going to go down, but until then we can just ride this thing up. There is a trend here. It wasn't like a major trend because I've only got 2 touches. But it is something to watch for Lido. There is support here, and you could maybe have a sneaky stop under that daily candle if you want to play the Lido game. Guys, it was XRP. What were the other strong ones?
AGIX is also looking strong.
Oh, AGIX. Okay. So, XRP, again, good performer. It's now in this mini range. Okay. So, if you're not in XRP, I wouldn't jump in here. Let's look for a move lower, potentially in this region, or wait for, something like that on a break up, and let's look for some support and grab it there. So right now, mid-range, not really interested. Unless you're buying spot and you've got like a longer term view and a few percent here or there doesn't bother you. But yeah, for precision entries, let's wait for a pullback here, or we wait for a move higher, get some support, and then we can send it on its way. There was a tweet about CFX, guys. Simon, were you telling me about CFX? Are you still here? Somebody was talking about CFX. Anyway, interesting comments we saw. Yeah. So guys, just follow this channel. We've got a fib here, we've got support, we got the 200-day a little bit lower down. So maybe add CFX just to your watch list for a few days. Let's see what happens there. Just watch this area. It could be a little trade, up to there, potentially. Okay, so just check that one. AGIX, Jackie.
Correct.
We're coming down, eh?
Yep.
Sure.
Out of all
Okay.
choices,
So
I
we
didn't
play
see-
the range. So we play this range. Look at these stocks. Okay, stocks coming down. Okay, it needs a bit of time. 4 hour. 4 hour wants to come down. Okay, 8 hours, not even halfway. That's interesting. Okay, that's at the bottom. What are you thinking around this, Jackie?
So I'm not thinking anything specifically. So when we were looking through tokens to see which tokens were holding up well relatively to the size and position that they've moved down in this last, let's say, dump. It hasn't moved down as far as some of the other tokens.
Okay, so looking at this, I think potential double bottom here that we could test. Okay, so just look for a move to this wick and just kind of sweep these lows here, and they just send us back up. But I really like this down here, this 2023 sort of area here. This is quite cool. And that could tie in with this 4 hour stock also coming down. So let's see, just keep an eye on this 4 hour. I like to see the 4 hour nice at the bottom, you know, then we know we can start teeing up something. But yeah, it could be a range move, yeah, for sure. Injective. Here we are again. 618. We never thought we'd get here when we were so bullish, 10 days ago. And here we are.
That's a rising channel there.
Yeah. So in theory, we're getting a double bottom. Okay. So in theory, we're going to get that. Okay. The theory behind it, the setup. We've got horizontals, we've got a trend, we've got a fib, we've got a double bottom situation. So there's things on paper talking to us saying, you know, potentially we're going to bounce. Let's look at the stock here. Stock looks a little bit sad. It's not like the happiest stock I've ever seen. Yeah, you know, ideally we want the stock to be sort of turning, you know, just at the bottom, or even just starting its way up. But you can see this blue one's the leading indicator here is turned down. See that? Okay, so yeah, there's a potential entry here. Just play it cautiously. I'm not that comfortable with the stock for me, for what I'm looking at. But see, on the 1 hour, there's support here. On the 1 hour, the stock's dropped, it's oversold. So yeah, do some checks, make sure you're comfortable with, you know, your checklist that you have. But yeah, potential entry here on INJ.
So that rising channel is a bearish channel where there's a 68% chance of a break to the downside, possibly at some stage.
Yeah, so we just don't know when. So,
Exactly.
you know, we play the channel.
Yeah.
We play the channel, right? See, that one stopped halfway. So like if, for example, the theory is, you know, you've got this entire channel, you've got 5 or 6 trades until it breaks potentially. So, you know, we can't decide that this time is different. We have to use our checklist. We use our tools. We look at macro conditions, like now SEC coming at everybody, and then we watch BTC and we make our decisions. Shall we look at render quickly, guys? And please, if anyone has something they want to talk about, please bring it up.
There's Tomo.
Any charts, any setups?
I think Bruce also likes Tomo.
Tomo, okay.
Yeah.
Bruce, take us through Tomo. Let's just finish this render because this looks interesting. Sure. And then Bruce, yeah, please tell us what's happening with Tomo, and you know, are we shorting this thing or are we longing it?
Okie dokie.
Render. Yeah, 618 visit again for render. It hasn't hit the trend yet. Okay, so there's horizontal going on here. There's fib action here. We've got yeah, this trend and this 200-day, they're not very close, so that's not very exciting. Yeah. Possible bounce play on render. I'm not confident though. I like this channel, this trend here. There's probably a fib there. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So preferred area. Let's say A grade area for a possible bounce. Possible bounce. And then B grade area right now is this current situation. So if we zoom in, you'll probably see, like on the 1 hour or whatever, you'll probably see a double bottom situation. Yeah, there we go. But this thing needs to bounce right now. I mean, what do you think when you see this thing, Jay?
I see a double bottom. That's very, very bullish if it holds the support there.
Check those stocks. Okay, so sometimes what happens when these stocks are at their lows or at their highs, like, I mean, you've heard Sheldon say it quite a few times as well, you know, when these stocks are at the bottom, then the real dump comes. You know, so don't always use the first dip at the bottom as your trigger, you know, for a long.
Yeah.
Like here we go, you can see, yeah, it's hit the bottom. Okay, now we might get the real dump here, and then you can send this thing back. So that's why this is more appealing to me on a rating scale, that area. Okay, can you tell us about Tomo, Bruce?
Sure. Well, I don't know how much I can tell you about Tomo today, but I can show you what I like about it.
Yeah, please, man.
Because it ain't doing what it was doing before. So,
and then afterwards, we must talk about stacks, guys. I forgot. We Sheldon had on his show today. Let's follow up with that when we're done here.
So the thing I liked about Tomo was the fact that I like repeatable patterns, and Tomo is really just being very, you know, trading it up. Just, you know, basically in this channel, it would come down at the bottom of the channel and then come up pretty consistently. And starting out here, it was dramatic. So, you know, basically you'd follow it down, the trend down to the bottom channel, and it would pump. And then I only did buys on this, and then we just wait till it broke, buy, and then that was the last one I got. I took this last one.
So Bruce, did you trade this whole thing?
I traded it from here. From
amazing, man. What a great chart as well.
3, 4. I took 4 trades, and I was hoping yesterday I would be getting another entrance right there, and it did not work out. It just basically screwed around at entry for an hour and a half, and I bailed out of it because it was clearly the market was it was not going to get any direction. So I'm watching it again. I'll zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to see if it starts up on this pattern again. Let me bring it over.
You have got basically. Sorry, Bruce. You have got if you just go back where you were, you've got a lower low there. You can, yeah, that spark down has created a lower low. So correct. Yeah.
I see. I was out of it from here. I wait for it came up, and I forget exactly where it was, but it was showing signs of it came up from the bottom. It was right around here, and it just literally screwed around. And I didn't get enough motion on it. I was in Sol, I was in Phantom, and I was in Tomo, and Sol and Phantom took off beautifully, and this just sat around literally right at entry. So I bailed on it. I didn't want to take a chance it was going to dump, which it did. So I'm basically now just watching it. Is it gonna lose this pattern, or is it gonna do something else? I'm watching to see what happens at the intersection of this downtrend right there and the top of this trend that it's been holding. I'm just gonna watch and see, because it did create. I mean, it did this huge spike, which I did not catch. I only caught it up to about there. Actually came up and I missed it, and I exited right over there. So what I'm hoping is that it will find support down around here, right? Which is correlating to this area. Hold on. To that area right there. If it finds support around there, then it could potentially, and again, my number one indicator is going to be Bitcoin, because it does follow Bitcoin pretty up and down pretty clearly. But hopefully I can find an entrance somewhere in this region. We'll probably break that trend right there and then ride it up to for the next leg up there. But I'm just sitting on my hands right now watching.
Okay.
Oh man.
But I mean, you've
pretty
charted
simple
this
stuff.
so well, and you've traded this really well. I mean, this is it's such a good lesson, this thing. Marco,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Marco, I'm sorry, bro. That's my phone buzzing there at the I'm moving it. Marco's very cross with me. Okay, yeah, cool. Well done, Bruce. This is really nice
Yeah,
chart
thank
as
you.
well.
Yeah, I'll report back in if it starts to shape up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna long this thing, please let us know.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'll
Yeah,
tell
you
you
just have to wait.
a good chart that's looking like a good trade or like long and short is 8. Like when this coin does what it's doing, it usually gives me good gains. Like the
Chris,
past
do you want to pull it up for us?
yeah, hold on.
Is David still here? Dave, are you here?
I see him in the but I don't see him.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But so I had a 30% loss yesterday, but I made that up with a 100% gain. So I netted 70% on my short that I had yesterday. So I messed up my short yesterday because I had my my stop loss not above, like it should have been at like 26, 3.26, but I had it at 3.25. I was rushing to get in the trade. So I messed up my stop, and that's how, I messed it up. But I ended up getting back in at 317. And then I closed it at 3.01, I think. And because I was using 20x. But so I started off marking it up on a 4-hour chart, right? And you can see it both ways. Hold on, let me turn off my stochastic. All right. So I'm watching the volume, right, on the 4-hour. First, I started off when I wanted to short it. I pulled the fib from this top point all the way to this bottom point right here. And I also, I'm not gonna talk about that, but this is my area that I want to be in the trade. And you see, this is a 618 right here. This is let me make it bigger. This is the 75th. This is the 786. So it got rejected off of the 786 within my area. So this is where I got into the trade. I got into the trade first at 3.21 or 22. And I got stopped out at 3.25. Then I got back in at when it formed this right here. This is a rally based drop for formation of supply and demand. And this is a drop based rally pattern. So 2 candles are red, a base, and then the candles are green, right? So when it got up here, it started losing steam. This ended up turning into a rally based drop formation, right? So now this is for a long, right? So then I would delete the fib. Now that it's got to that area, I would delete the fib and go from the bottom to the top. So this 786 area is the area that I would be trying to get into this trade. And depending on how far away the stop would have to be, that's how I would judge my leverage. So let's see. If I can get it in this block area right here, then it would be a 1.8 stop loss. So I would start off on like a 4x leverage, 4 or 5x to get into this trade, because you have volume down here. So you have volume. You zoom into the 15-minute. Let's go look at the 1 hour. But yeah, it looked like the 1 hour probably wants to come down some more, so you probably will get this entry. So I will wait.
So you like it in the center of this block? Is that your preferred zone?
Yep, this range right here for right now, I like it. Because technically this block right here, this block has not been mitigated yet. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that right here it has, but I like this area. You got in like all this volume down here. There's a lot of interest, whether it's long or short.
Yeah, I mean, I just like it from, I mean, I don't do much order block stuff, but I just like it from the potential double bottom there
Yep.
that's coming in. So yeah, any move down to that low could give us an entry. Anything down to that low, the lower the better. Obviously, we get a tighter stop.
Yeah,
very
this
cool.
would, for a long, I would look at trying to get it right in this area. Like I was trying to get it right there. And I would set the stop like a little bit on the outside.
Yeah. Okay. Nice one, Chris. Thank you.
Yep.
Dave,
Hey, what's going on?
what's happening? What are you trading, bro?
I am in a phantom position here, just watching it. That injective protocol call that you just made.
It's bouncing.
It looks
Yeah.
really good, and I'm seeing everything bounce right now as
No,
well.
but you see, because we placed that fib there and then we pushed the market up exactly as we put it there. Did you notice?
Yeah, like
Last time we
literally
did that, it reversed on us though. But yeah, cool. Yeah, I see injective is bouncing nicely here. So tell us about Phantom. Is this something you took today, or when did you take it?
I took it yesterday and just kind of watching it.
Okay.
I could share my screen if you'd like.
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I just simply marked out the levels that were on the Discord charts. If you guys can see here on the RSI, it looks very bottomed out right here. Even Sheldon talked about Phantom being at these levels right now. It's crazy. This level here, if we zoom out, the last time we were at these levels was in January.
Yeah, it is mad. Huh?
Oh,
So January 18th, if we look at Bitcoin, January 18th. Yeah, Bitcoin was at 20,000. So yeah, this is, for me, I think this is a good one. And it seems like there's a lot of swing failure patterns right here. I mean, in the past day, it's like, who else is going to sell?
It's like they're trying to hold this thing up.
Yeah, or either that or the sellers are exhausted. Like, who's going to get rid of Phantom at 20 cents, 29 cents whenever the highs were? I mean, even I'm sure there's some people that bought up here and they're just like, why would you sell it at a loss? Like,
yeah, I mean, we were trading Phantom back up there, $2, $2.50. I mean, geez. So when we see these numbers, it's wild. I just want to see if Phantom's on this list from the SEC.
It's not. It's not. And I think that's why it's holding up so well. You know, only negative 4% compared to some of these other ones here that are taking bigger hits. This is my favorite coin to trade.
From a safety perspective, Phantom's a good one. You know, there might be less pressure on Phantom, and it suddenly becomes an option. We're eliminating some of the competition potentially. So Phantom looks like a good one, guys. And it's a great area, like Sheldon said, like we've been saying. You know, strong horizontal. There's fib support. I think there's a 200-day. I think we got the trends as well. So yeah, all around, like a lot of reasons to be long Phantom at this area, subject to BTC behaving itself, obviously. And then that wick you've got there at what is that wick, Dave? Is that what's the 27.5?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
So maybe
just remember, guys, it might test that.
It might test here, and that this, you know, if you guys are looking at, you know, not financial advice, but if you guys are new traders, I would recommend being safe with your leverage. I mean, 7x, 5x leverage is super safe. And maybe even a potential laddering, you know, ladder another position here at this wick, because sometimes that's what will happen. You know, the market makers will typically visit the wick one more time and then reverse which is like what happened with Bitcoin yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at that. And the risk to reward is very, very nice, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, if we look here at this level and it goes all the way up here, you know, at 5x leverage, that's 100% gain just to get to 35 cents. You maybe sell half right there and then just ride the rest, see how high it goes.
Yeah, and then so Dave, where's your exit? Let's say things go south. How are you dealing with this? Let's say we go and we test that wick, and you add, and then next thing we start losing it. How do you deal with this now? What is your strategy here?
So my strategy here is you're right. Probably at this wick here, I'm going to have another order. If it continues to go down, I'm probably just going to market exit, and I'll be watching it very closely. You know, not going to bed and like, I was going to make sure I protect myself here. And that's the key, guys, is if you guys are going to go to sleep, you're not going to watch your trades. I know some of you guys are busy. Just monitor it the best you can and just have a strategy on getting out. Always have a strategy on if it goes the way that you don't expect it to. But then obviously if it goes the way we want it to, have a strategy on taking some off the board. Don't just let the whole thing ride. Because then you'll experience like this render bounce here. It just went up and then all the way down, you know, so just monitor that.
Yeah, I mean, and here we are with render again. Possible longs on render too. So yeah, guys, it's just things are tricky here. I'm glad render's not on that list though.
No, it's not. And I'm so glad that we have this type of information like right out of the gates with you guys, because you know, Adam is one of my favorite coins, but now it's on the hit list, so I'm not going to touch it. All these Solana,
Adam's looking darker.
Yeah, just being very, very careful. This is the time to be very careful, guys. Blood on the streets, you want to buy it, but be very strategical about your buys. Research the coin, make sure it's not on the hit list. Look at the supports, look at the Discord charts, and have a strategy. But yeah, I marked these pink here just as like my own reference of like, man, these are coins I'd like to get in a position. So I'm just watching it. Like, I know you're about to talk about stacks, so I'm very interested in your opinion on that.
Yeah, well, pull it up. Yeah, pull it up if you've looked at it. So Craig's been loving stacks for a while. I think we mentioned it a couple of weeks back already when we were in Miami. We were talking about it. And there's been some announcement on it. I'm not big on fundamentals on it. Craig's gonna have to update us tomorrow, but there was some news on it yesterday, and it's now pumped. And you must see this thing on the daily. It looks very strong, and it's broken a trend. So if we get a retest, it might be a good time to buy there.
Look at that.
So if you can pull up the daily.
It broke a whole bunch of highs too.
Yeah, the thing that I heard from Stacks is it was approved by the SEC on their list. So the SEC says it's good. Now everybody's going in on it, which is what caused the pump.
I mean, are we going to fall into their trap though? I mean, they're telling us we got to stay away from Solana, Atom, etc., and they spoon feeding us stacks. I mean, I find this all quite too obvious, right?
It is. It's almost like they're giving us all. The SEC is giving us all the signals.
Are we the game?
Yeah.
Will you eat the pie?
We have to keep in mind with all of this that the last time they played this game with XRP, they ended up in court, and it's been 3 years and nothing. So they announced that they created a lot of FUD. Now this goes to court, and it's going to be there for years and years and years. Except now, just instead of picking on the little guy like XRP, he's picking on the big dogs. So this will be interesting.
And I see Greg in the chat says they're buying what we are dumping.
Yeah,
I bet.
And the SEC is shilling stacks. Yeah, they obviously bought the bottom. They want to pump it now.
Somebody asked,
okay, but
should they spot trade FTM now? Like, you have to do your own, like, you have to look at it for yourself and see if you can stomach the risk or the stop loss if it gets hit. That's the only way you know. We can't tell you what you can trade and what you can't trade. We can tell you what we think you should, but you have to do the research for yourself.
Yeah, you gotta develop your own checklist. So we all have various reasons why we enter trades and things. I've shared mine. Bruce has got his. Chris has got his. You gotta take the information we're giving you, build something that makes you feel comfortable, and then you apply these every time you want to take a position or exit. For example, maybe you're feeling a bit stressed about a position and you want to get out. You got to find out why you want to exit. Why were you in it? And just play out that process every time. So, from a charts perspective, when I look at FTM, I still like the area. So, it's in the buy zone for me. Ignoring the FUD and everything in the background, it's in a good area. If this area is lost for FTM, I'd probably look to buy, at the 25 area as sort of the next zone. So just have your plans. If it doesn't go your way, know where you're cutting, and then just be disciplined about it, and then look for the next area.
You gotta trade like a robot, literally.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So that's what I'm watching. I'm being very careful. Everybody should be careful about these times right now. SEC is playing games with us for sure. Got to play their game.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. Guys, I just saw now Link as well. Interesting potential bounce area. Let me just pull it up for you quickly. So Link has actually traded really badly the last while, but it's just something we always watch. We're always looking at. And here it is. It's sitting on a daily sort of support area. So there might be a possible bounce here on Link. And then if that area doesn't hold, we've got this massive weekly zone at 5, I think it is. 5.5. The 5.5 is a great sort of spot area, or to start building a position for a potential move up to this next area. If we lose this 5.5, we're down at another 10%. So, I quite like these two areas here. This one now, if things are going to turn, it's turning here at 6, and then in this 5.5 area.
You got a lot of volume in it too.
Let's have a look. So this is the weekly. So you see this weekly stock as well. I mean, you've seen it all over, but they bottomed out a lot on a lot of these coins. So we might get that final, we might get a little bounce here, but we might get that final move there. That should give us another opportunity on Link. I see somebody was asking about optimism. They were asking, is this a long from here? So yesterday we looked at optimism. It has a very, very strong area here. We got the fib, we got the horizontal. My only concern with optimism was this wick that was so far down. So when I look at a trade, when I'm trying to set it up, I try and look at like the area where I'd be, like if I exited a trade here, for example, and it came down to sweep this wick here and bounced up, I'd kick myself, because like these areas are very like obvious areas in these crypto charts as to where these guys turn and reverse. So I always look for my risk area, and optimism for me, it was just the risk was too big, because I expect these wicks to get tested. So it was it's 7% down. So again, there's no guarantee it's going there, hey Bruce, but we got to be aware that it's there, and you open yourself up to a lot of risk if you take that 7% hit and then it doesn't hold. Then it really gets expensive. So for me, I just try and look for the tightest areas. But yeah, generally I'd label this a good area for optimism. A strong region. Guys, shall we take a few from the audience?
Yeah, we can.
I've got one more interesting chart that I want to show everybody, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It's
Send it.
just okay, so I just want to show you the Ethereum dominance, and if we just have a look at for the last 18 hours or so, Bitcoin is down 2.7%, Ethereum is down 2%, and if we just go to a couple of the alts, you can see some massive drops here in the alts. Big retraces here, 5%, 4, 6, 2, 5, 5, 5. So what I have noticed, and if we go to Ethereum dominance, and I'm going to go into the weekly chart here, we have got a situation where Ethereum dominance is actually breaking out, possibly, let me use those words, breaking out of a resistance that has been in place since May 2018. So we need to keep an eye on this. It's telling us that the bleed out of the general alts is pushing this dominance up, both in Bitcoin and in Ethereum. And if we get a breakout here, it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes to. The last time we were higher than this level was in December 2021. And
Jay?
Yeah.
Can you check the price of ETH in December 2021?
I can do that. And then
I just want to see the correlation.
Sure. And then in January 2018, ETH was at $1,400, and you can remember Bitcoin was at about 19. So we were at 26% at that stage. And then when Ethereum first got, okay, this is 2017, Ethereum was before that, we were right up at 30%. So it's quite interesting to see, you know, what's currently happening in the market as these alts bleed off and the dominance in both Bitcoin and Ethereum is pushing up. Sorry, Dylan, what date are you looking for? December 2020?
So where the ETH dominance pushed through, I'm just interested to see what the ETH price was. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, is there a nice correlation here? Should we be loading up an ETH long, basically, based on this?
Okay. So we can go to 2021. We were right up at 4,800. That was the peak of the bull market.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, the signs are there. Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, ETH has been like a stable coin. It's been so boring to trade. I stay away from it most of the time.
Yes.
But yeah, it does have the occasional move. And look, I mean, that chart you've got there, you can see you've got an entry there. You got a retest. What's going on there?
So we're down here. Yeah, we've got a retest on that 14 wedge, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see that we're above the 200 moving average on the weekly.
Are you calling along here, Jay? I wasn't quite sure. Are you giving us an entry here?
I think Ethereum's going to be one of the favorites again, huh? Based on
just looking at my charts, I'm starting to see good strength on the weekly time frame that Jay is looking at here. I've marked out my charts similarly, and it looks like we're about to break out of a major trend if you extend that trend line a bit longer.
Okay.
So Jay, where's our stop under this?
What, for a spot trade?
Yeah, or like, let's say we got 3x leverage here. What is the setup? I mean, are we entering here? This looks like a retest.
Well, definitely. We're on major support here at 1850.
Okay.
So 1850 is
Okay.
support. I would say we just take a really a sort of a 1% below that is what? 1830.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for those that don't mind sweating, I suppose we can look under those dailies, huh? So, but that's quite deep. That's 17.
Yeah, so the range low,
Okay.
and this range low is coming from April, is yeah at 1800. So I would put my stop just below that, sort of possibly down here at 1750, somewhere around there. That's for
Okay, well, there you
spot
go. Yeah, spot
Yeah.
traders, you
Yeah.
can let it sweat out. You know, I don't know what percent that was, but yeah, it's not major.
So no, it isn't. So if we go down here to 1750,
Yeah,
that's a 5% for a spot.
yeah. Okay,
And-
so yeah, bullish on ETH then. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And then BNB, I know we touched on it, and I don't want to paint any doom and gloom, but BNB is really on a critical level right now. We got this sort of rising sort of wedge pattern, and a break here of 260 is not going to be too cool. I would say the first target would be down here at 190, where we tested in June last year. And then below that is at 130. So just be careful here if anybody's in BNB.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, still on support. But yes, guys, like there's heat here. So,
Yeah.
you know, if we lose the support, it could come down pretty quickly. So whatever you're doing here, just be careful, you know.
Exactly. If we just go back and just have a look at this run here we had on BNB, and that was in February 2021. None of these areas have been tested to the downside yet. So I'm not saying it will happen, but there's a possibility a retest of these lower levels could happen.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy if we lose that trend.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let me run through a few of these audience charts quickly. Can you pick some up there, Jackie?
Sure, give me a sec.
I think somebody was asking about Carver again.
Yes, Carver has been asked since the beginning of the show,
Uni.
so that's a good
Somebody asked
one.
about Uni too.
Which one?
Uniswap.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Uniswap's been like super boring for me. It's sitting on this weekly support, and it's basically dying a slow death with sushi and 1inch and stuff. Okay, so here's Carver, guys. This is what we were looking at the other day when we had this mad move up and down, and yeah, things were crazy. It's hit this horizontal area that I liked up there. So that is an area of interest. Okay, let's see. Now we got a fib going on there. Yeah, good bounce area. I like it. It's not the worst. You can get a tight stop here. $1.5 under this fib, 1.5-ish. If we get the bounce, but this candle's concerning. I mean, this is a proper candle on 4 hour. Let's compare it to another token on the 4 hour, just to make sure we're dealing with the same things here. This is Render's 4 hour, not as bad. Let's see AGIX's 4 hour. See, not as bad. This Carver was quite brutal. It just feels like there's games here. There's games here at Carver. But this is an area. This is a bounce area, horizontal fib. So yeah, if you want to take a long on Carver, this is probably the tightest area. And then, you know, after that, we're testing these lows. So just be aware, you know, if you want to let it ride, you might be riding it all the way down another 6%. So just risk management here, guys. And then remember, the main zone that we identified was still this one here at the 200-day. So, but when you see these big candles like this, yeah, there's lots of gains. Yeah. What was the other one, guys?
Uni.
Okay, so yeah, this is Uni 1-inch sushi. And Jackie, you explained this well the other day, but basically these guys are just slowly bleeding out. We're about to lose this major weekly box here on Uni. This is the next zone you got to look for if we lose this. I'm going to show you sushi just as a comparison. Okay, so here's our weekly, uni weekly. We're losing this area. If this doesn't reverse, like literally in this zone now, I think we're coming here. And it happened with sushi. Let's see this. Okay, see, sushi did the same thing. Lost the weekly range, and here we are. Okay, we're in the magic box. 0.7. You know, when sushi was up here, rejecting here, and I made this box, you know, I was like, definitely longing sushi at 0.7. Now we're here. Who's longing sushi at 0.7, guys? Are we doing this? Here's our support. Okay, so you can see where it
For
ties
interest's
in.
sake, pull up cake. If cake's in a
Oh, no,
similar
that's the
position,
worst. No,
then
that's
I
the
would
worst.
consider getting into sushi.
Wow. I mean, it's like, what? I don't even know what we're looking at here. It's hurting my eyes. Yeah, no, I mean, Simon even had a short on cake. He called the short perfectly. I mean, it was up there somewhere. Sheesh. We've been cooking, yeah. Yeah, this is done. I mean, yeah, guys, we're going straight to zero. Maybe we'll go to minus. I mean, where you have to pay them, basically. I don't know what happens when we go beyond zero. Beyond zero.
What's the saying about eat your cake? Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to eat this one. Yeah, guys. So this is a nothing. It's not a short or a long. It's just enjoy the show. Yeah, I don't know what's happening here, but it's not looking great.
So, unpopular opinion. Given that, you know, I follow DeFi quite a bit, those areas are ideal. But this is only if you're willing to take the risk and wait out like 6 months. DeFi season is going to start way later than everyone else because DeFi only picks up when there's hype in crypto. So when we start hitting the bull run and all these tokens are pumping, Bitcoin's flying, ETH is flying, BNB is flying, you only then will you start seeing all the DeFi projects coming back to life. And if you're willing to wait that long, then yes, it's a good idea.
But here's the question. Do they have active dev teams? Are they still a project? I mean, when their token value has dropped so much, like how do they fund the team? Like where do they get their money from? That's the question, you know. I mean, I know Binance is its own beast, obviously, but things like Sushi, 1inch, like what's the story there, you know?
Look, for these exchanges, or these decentralized exchanges, they don't necessarily need to earn their own token to keep afloat. More money that keeps flowing through a DEX means the DEX is still operational, which allows them to still earn fees off of all trades that were made. And those fees aren't necessarily paid in the native token to the development team. Okay. So they're usually pulling up in USDT or something.
So DeFi is not dead. It's just quiet. Okay. So yeah, it could be what, an 18-month play if you want to start laddering in, but you can't leverage this stuff, guys. You got to, yeah. If you believe in
spot
DeFi
bags only, guys.
And spot bags. Yeah. I mean, look where these things were trading. You know, 1inch, we used to trade this thing. This was fun. I had lots of fun with 1inch, especially over here in this region here. I remember some very happy days. I thought I was very smart. It was very fun. But this thing was $7, you know.
For me, I had to see some activity before I even think about trying to ladder in, or, you know, something that's telling me that it wants to wake up.
Look, at 10x from here is $3. So we 20, 30x potential. Yeah, if you like a slow grind and you want to buy and you believe in DeFi, yeah, probably a steal. Synapse. What is Synapse and Sui?
Sui is the new blockchain that launched.
Synapse on Gate. Okay, this looks cool. It's not on major exchanges, so I'm not sure what the story is here.
I think it's a DEX as well.
Oh, this one seems to be working. Okay, so there's some resistance here, some fib and horizontal resistance. Okay, then we've got this 200-day a little bit higher up. So yeah, I suppose we could say this was a potential handle there. But you want to see this thing now finish off and break up here. Otherwise, let's look for some pullback zones. This was quite a candle that.
Yeah, to give you the correct information there, Dill, Synapse is a cross-chain DEX, meaning you can do your bridging there, you can swap between the different chains, and you'll be able to stake and earn on various pools there.
Yeah, okay, so look, Synapse, it's at resistance now. You know, if you want a long, look for pullbacks to these sort of lows down here, you know, on these fibs here, that sort of region, and then just pull a normal fib from the low to the high, and you want to see where that 618 is, because that's always a nice area. Let's see if it ties in with something. Yeah, so you've got some horizontal stuff here. That looks all right there. Could be a nice buy area. Could be. Yeah, so either just under this this region there, or yeah, somewhere there is probably a good place to look. Sui. What is this thing? Ooh, this is coming down
It's the
to
new
zero.
blockchain that launched a few months ago.
Is it a layer one? Is that what it is?
That thing looks like they about to look like it's about to fail.
Zero incoming. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember there was a bit of hype with this thing. Guys, I'm not a fan of this chart. Yeah.
I'm watching Ape right now. Ape went into the order block. Now we gotta see how it reacts inside of the order block. Like if we get a sweep,
There goes Carver. This
Oh,
market doesn't look great, huh? Let's pull up Ape. Let's see. Are we gonna get a long here?
possibly. We got. I wanted to sweep like it did in the bearish
Yeah.
block.
Here it comes. It's coming. You could get your buy done here.
Yep. I'm watching a 1 hour too. What candle closes?
What's BTC doing currently while we're looking at this? Is it still all right?
Taking a look.
Just got rejected at 26,550.
Hmm. STXWRX shorted Carver. Let it ride, he said. Okay, awesome, bro. Hopefully it breaks through that low. GPT. ARB. Jeez, all these things are looking sad, eh? Geez, yeah, we had support here, it lost. It's now resistance. There. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't do anything here. This is the daily. It's kind of just mid-range, this thing. Let's look at some shorter time frame. Yeah, so lower high. Let's see if we got a trend. So just track this thing down, you know. Maybe we get an entry here. That could be a good one. Otherwise, just look for the break. Yeah. I can't see it any other way. I mean, I wouldn't do anything here right now. So, you know, we want to look at this guy. That's interesting. That's interesting. So maybe we get that one. Otherwise, we go for plan B, which is just track the trend, break a trend, retest, and then see where we are. Victor, did somebody ask for Aptos just now?
Let me check.
Am I seeing things?
No, I haven't seen any Aptos yet. I've been seeing Arb a lot.
Okay, it was ARB. Okay. Let's have an update on SXP. Here we are. Jay, are we trading this thing yet?
How are we looking there?
It's back at this
I see
low
you got an
again.
enormous arrow there. What is that pointing to?
It was for you, so you didn't need
Okay.
glasses. I just put it there.
What worries me is you've got a massive liquidity candle there on the left-hand side that we could come test a bit lower.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. I just liked this box because we had activity here. But yeah, that's something to keep an eye on for sure. We've got right now, we got the double bottom, we're reacting on this fib. And we got the 200-day a little bit lower down here. So there's a couple of reasons that we have support here. But
Hey,
then
Dol,
the next big guy, yeah.
take your fib and draw it on that candle alone.
Which candle? This big guy.
Yeah, the big one there that you circled now.
You like there.
Just that one candle. No, just that, like that green candle that's in the circle. So from the
There,
bottom of that
on
candle to
move.
the top of
Yeah,
that candle.
Yeah. There, it's there.
So no, just that one with the circle. So I don't know if
Yeah,
my
there.
screen is behind.
There.
I'm still
That's
seeing
it
your
there.
fib all the way to the top.
That?
So you see where the circle is, right?
Yeah.
Bottom of the fib at the bottom of the circle, top of the fib at the
Yeah.
top of that circle.
Oh, right. Okay, hold on. So you want that?
Yes. Now
Okay,
bring
so
up the
let's get
50
it.
on that fib.
Okay, so you want that. And you want the 0.5.
50. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now drag it all the way across. Yeah, I think we're good to
There
bounce
you
from
go.
there. That's 50% on that candle. So that you
Well,
could
this is
consider that
weird
clear.
science you bringing us here, Jackie. I don't know what science this is, but it's working and it's all tied up.
And this is something
But
that
yeah.
Craig also shares. I'm just showing you different ways to look at balances.
If it works, but guys, this is the beauty of TA. Like, you got to work out things that work for you. You got to work out systems and work out things that you're comfortable with. And you can get the same results often, you know, and it just adds to your confluence. If somebody might have the same picture, they've got there a different way, you know. So I got there from the low to the high, okay, over there, and we're pretty much getting the same picture. Okay, and then we put Jason's arrow in here just so he could see it there. You see.
I got you.
Yeah, okay, so like I like this area for SXP. Bitcoin is in charge though right now for me, so we got to just make sure things are stable on that front. If it's getting rejected and there's like negative vibes in the market, like yeah, it's not great. We're losing this 200 week. Yeah, we got the last fib here, the 618. We can try and hold up the market again this time. Let's see. But right now it looks like we're losing this 200 week, Jay.
Yeah, it's not looking too strong, is it?
Somebody gave us the
So-
fear and greed index there.
That was Bruce.
The It was still above
and
50%.
neutral.
Surprised me.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
surprised me.
Why isn't everybody scared? You know,
I think the operative word is everyone's gone numb.
sure. Look, I mean,
Yeah.
after this Coinbase and Binance stuff, I thought we were going to wake up and see BTC at like 15K.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite interesting. I thought these alts would have got obliterated.
Yeah.
And they haven't. I mean, look, 7%, we see this as a regular day at the office, you know.
Mhm.
Like what I am scared of, or not scared of, but like we haven't seen a capitulation event in a while, like the nice one where like your screen starts moving when these candles start coming down. Yeah, we haven't had that in a while, so you know that really resets everything. And maybe that's what might still be on its way.
Yep.
Right, guys?
Have you had enough, Jay?
Yeah, we've had
Uh,
I need to
Was
go
it-
feed the
was it-
baby. I need
Was
to
it
go
when
feed
I
the
said
baby.
capitulation? Okay, cool, guys. Look, I hope that was helpful for you guys today. We've looked at some good
Yeah.
areas. Again, you know, we on supports, we trade what we have in front of us. Can't make too many assumptions. There goes Carver, wrecked.
Mhm.
Okay, look at that candle. It's disgusting.
Mhm.
There's something going on here with Carver. That's not a normal situation there, guys. You know, a normal situation is this type of candle we're seeing on render. You know, these yeah, there's something fishy there with Carver. Didn't even see it on the magic list. Yeah, so try and, you know, stay away from the dodgy ones that are under pressure. You know, they might bounce, they might not, but if they don't bounce, I think they're going to get rinsed like properly, because you're going to have a lot of guys selling, exiting. And look at the strong ones, the strong performers. We've seen Stacks, we've seen Lido, we've seen ETH. You know, FTM's holding at the moment. So yeah, just look for the stronger guys. And good luck out there.
And I think on the overall market, we need just to keep an eye on 1046 trillion, because that's where the 200 moving average of the weekly is. As long as we stay above there, we're still bullish.
Yeah. Okay. And then look, I mean, there's a lot of these alts, guys. We still might get these double bottoms playing out. So, you know, the file coins for some reasons been relatively stable. We still might get this double bottom here. So just look out for those. Yeah, and just risk management, play your supports, and have a crazy day or night.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Have
Thanks,
fun, everybody.
Dylan. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you so much.
Awesome
See you
session.
tomorrow.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.